Want to improve as a dungeon master or game master? Want to know some behaviors to avoid? Then stay tuned for today's episode. Hello and welcome to RPG PhD. I'm Dr. Ben, and today we will discuss 10 behaviors to avoid as a dungeon master or game master. Number 1, discouraging. Encourage open communication. Fostering a safe and welcoming environment means actively inviting players to share their thoughts, concerns, and ideas. Also, after each gaming session, ask for feedback or suggestions. If a player expresses concerns about a specific encounter or plot point, then discuss it openly and collaboratively and find a solution that works for everyone. Number 2, unfair and inconsistent. Be fair and consistent. Apply the rules and consequences impartially, regardless of a player's in-game or out-of-game relationship with the DM or GM. For instance, if two players attempt similar actions, both should face comparable challenges and outcomes. This helps maintain a sense of fairness and ensures that no player feels singled out or ignored. Sometimes this comes in the form of always or mostly telling some players yes and always or mostly telling other players no. Or allowing certain characters to do really amazing things but denying that opportunity to others. Just be self-aware and make sure you aren't playing favorites. Number 3, inflexible, unadaptable. Be flexible and adaptable. Embrace the unexpected twists and turns that players introduce into the story. For example, if the players come up with a solution to bypass a planned dungeon, reward their ingenuity rather than insisting they follow the original plan. This encourages player agency and enhances their immersion in the game world. In theater, there's a rule about live performance that no matter what happens on stage, everyone should just act like that whatever happens was exactly what was supposed to happen. I feel this should also be the case in RPGs. Even though players might suspect that they have derailed something, just go with it, as if whatever happened was exactly what was supposed to occur. If you had some large planned encounter unexpectedly bypassed, just save it for a later time where it can be repurposed and reskinned. You haven't really lost anything, but you have gained players feeling they have agency in the world, which is incredibly valuable. Number 4, neglect player enjoyment as a priority. Keep player enjoyment front and center. Pay attention to individual player preferences and balance to the campaign that caters to various playstyles. For instance, if some players enjoy combat encounters while others prefer social interactions, ensure that the campaign includes a mix of both elements to engage all players. I know this can be a tall order from session to session, but over the course of a campaign, players should both be able to shine in the story, and the types of play players enjoy should be prioritized. Remember that the DM or GM is also a player, and that you should also find enjoyment within the game. Number 5, unsupportive. Provide support and encouragement. If a player is struggling to understand a particular mechanic or feels unsure about role-playing their character, take the time to offer guidance, offer support, and make sure you're welcoming to new players. New players often need to feel like they're in a safe and supportive environment in order to feel comfortable enough to put themselves out there and roleplay. This may come easy to some, but it may be difficult for others. So make certain you are being encouraging and not discouraging by making people feel inadequate in their in-game performance. For example, you might suggest ways for them to develop their character's backstory or explain a game mechanic in a different way to improve their understanding. Number 6, undermine group dynamics. You have to manage group dynamics. Address conflicts or disruptive behavior in a respectful and constructive manner. For instance, if two players are arguing during a session, mediate the conversation and help them reach a resolution that satisfies both parties. This maintains a positive atmosphere and ensures that all players feel heard and respected. While I do believe that some occasional inter-party conflict can be fun and engaging in the story, I feel that purposely pitting characters against each other can be disruptive if not handled in the right way. Sometimes players can handle this dynamic without issue, but other players can have difficulty separating character from player. So I think in general, promoting party unity is the way to go. In other words, create situations where it's the party versus the world. Number 7, unprepared and disorganized. Be prepared and organized. Demonstrate respect for your players' time by preparing for each session thoroughly. Now, this will vary wildly from DM to DM, and I know that there are some who feel that improvising everything on the fly can create a more dynamic experience. When I say be prepared, I'm saying you should know enough about yourself to know what you need to have prepared beforehand to run an enjoyable session. So, I know DMs who plan out all encounters, they build out custom creatures, they have dialogue options and rumors for NPCs, they have it all planned out. For me, I usually have a through line for each character or for the party, and I have an idea about where I would like them to end up during the session. A through line is basically a thread that sort of connects everything together, like the string that runs through a necklace of pearls. Each pearl would be an encounter or an in-game event, and the string would be the plot that sort of connects everything together. Usually, I have some encounters in mind and where the party is going, a note about any important characters they're going to meet, and any major plot points or information I want to impart during the session. But otherwise, I usually just let the game happen. But every DM is different, so just make sure you're ready to run an enjoyable session in whatever works best for you. Number 8, railroading. Avoid railroading. Encourage player agency by allowing them to make meaningful choices that impact the narrative. For example, if the players decide to ally themselves with an NPC faction you had planned as adversaries, adjust the story to accommodate their choice and create new challenges that arise from this decision. This is of course not to say that you can't plan and execute a story or that you can't take your players through an adventure. Just be prepared to take a hard right turn if necessary. This connects to being flexible. Perfect example. In my own home game, we were playing Warhammer Fantasy, and one of my players decided that they were going to toss a grenade into the hold of a ship filled with gunpowder in an attempt to kill a giant magical spider. I ruled that the ship explode, killing most of the crew and all of the players. Now, since this is Warhammer, they could burn a fate point permanently to survive, and they woke up 3 months later in the tower of a hostile faction. This was, of course, completely unexpected, but completely awesome, as it really shook things up in game and even made things more interesting for me as GM. It also created opportunities for me to explore other aspects of the world and story. So use these unexpected events to take the story in a new direction. Number 9, indifferent to player boundaries. Be mindful of player boundaries. Establish a session 0 to discuss sensitive topics and themes, and some DMs and players like to use safety tools like the X card or lines and veils to ensure everyone is comfortable with the game's content. Or you can just have a conversation with your group. For example, if a player is uncomfortable with certain depictions of violence, avoid incorporating such scenarios into the campaign. Number 10, no growth or self-reflection. Reflect and grow. Continuously evaluate your performance as GM and seek opportunities for improvement. For example, after each session, take note of what went well and what could be improved. Seek feedback from your players and be open to implementing their suggestions. By doing so, you can hone your skills and provide an even better experience for everyone at the table. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you found this content useful, then please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me as a YouTube creator. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.